So many things were said to me that just haunted me every day, and I went from having all these friends to none, and that's the effects that bullying can have on you.
Stranger Things breakout star Millie Bobby Brown, a victim of cyberbullying, quitting Twitter after she was attacked online.
Bullying is just such a huge problem that I think so many people just overlook.
I got bullied, like, terribly on social media.
These are just a few of the comments that I get weekly. I get, you don't deserve happiness, you don't deserve to be alive. A lot of really serious things that no one should ever be told.
Every girl thinks that they have to be better than the other girl.
There's just a constant pressure, I guess, with everybody.
Sometimes I'll say, like, you know, your stomach area is fat. And I'm like, wait, is it?
Yeah, us as humans, we just need to really be more sympathetic towards each other.
Together we can stop it.
What's up, everyone? Welcome back to my channel, or welcome to my channel if this is your first time here. My name is Hope, and today I am with one of my favorite YouTubers ever. His name is Ryan Abe, if you don't know him.
Hi.
All of his information will be in the description below, so if you don't know him, go check him out. So this video is going to be all about social media and how it affects your mental health and things along the lines of that. I had you guys send in some questions that you wanted to be answered.
Cool.
So
let's do it.
How do you think the Facetune / Photoshop era has affected young people's mental health and self-confidence?
I don't think they even know how much it affects them yet, if that makes sense, because I think a lot of kids now, even like my cousins, like if you're like 6, 7, 8, you might have been doing this already for a couple of years. Like this is now like normal to you. So I think it may not hit people until they get older and realize, like, you know, maybe look back at photos or like, man, I don't even know what I really looked like, or, you know, it's obviously, in my opinion, it's not gonna affect everybody in a positive way, you know. I'm not saying it'll be a negative for everybody that Facetunes photos, because I get it, you know, sometimes people just wanna get rid of some flaws, but I think there are a lot of people on YouTube that preach being yourself, but then they're not. So it's a little dangerous line to cross. I think there are worse things, honestly, but I think that for the kids that are like under 10, which are a ton, that are doing that, that's not good. You know what I mean? Because you're not even grown yet. You're not even, like, you don't even have acne yet. Like, you know, so that kind of stuff, it scares me, honestly,
Do you ever feel pressured at all to talk about mental illnesses on social media? Because a lot of people who do have them, such as like, for example, Bradley Wanamaker, he films his anxiety attacks and things like that. So do you ever feel pressured to talk about it?
No, I think maybe when I first started to, you know, there's like a moment where you don't know how someone's gonna react, or if someone thinks you're making something up, because it's really hard to prove mental illness, right? It's not like a fever or a cold or something, a cut, like it's something that like you can't show anybody really. So it's off of your word, and then people believing you, which is the scariest part, I think, of like saying like, yeah, this is what's wrong with me, please believe me. But no, I don't feel any pressure to. I think it's the opposite. I actually would rather do that because I think it's important. And then, you know, even I've had issues before, like with my eyelashes, and I remember I tweeted that, and there was like hundreds of people that didn't even know what it was, but they had it. And I remember getting so many messages like, thank you so much for telling me what this is, I thought I was crazy. And like when stuff like that would happen, I was like, oh, why would I stop talking about this stuff? Because it's obviously helping people. I wish I had that when I was younger.
I agree with that. How do you find a balance between real life and social media? Like some people like kind of put on an act, I guess. So where do you find that balance in like what you should and shouldn't share? It
depends. I think it changes for the person. Like for me, my roommates, they don't do anything with the internet. So that's a nice balance of being able to hang out with them and not talk about the internet all the time. They're not talking about my likes or anything, or if James Charles posted, you know, which is nice. I think there are certain things that you shouldn't post on the internet, but it's just, it changes on the person. Like for me, you know, especially in my last couple relationships, I've not been online because I like to have something where I can be like, A, protect that person, because it can be pretty scary, and then B, just feel like something is a part of me and not everybody that knows about it. So I don't have too much of a trouble balancing it. I think everybody is a little bit of a character of themselves, because you have to be. Because if not, I would tweet about wrestling or something all day, and like, as nice as that is, not everyone wants to hear about that. So I think you have to be a little bit of a character, a little bit of a extended version of yourself, and I think that's totally fine. I don't think there's anything wrong with that unless you are literally preaching mental health or preaching positivity and you're just a terrible person. Then you're literally a terrible person.
Yeah.
So, there's differences.
Yeah. How do you deal with friends that don't like or accept that you work on social media?
That's a good question. I don't care. And the reason I don't care is because if I were in their shoes, right, like I would kind of understand it a little bit, because for most people it's getting more normal now, at least. But even in the past when that's happened, I'd be like, hey, look, I get it, it's weird. And to say like you make money tweeting and Instagramming, and it's a weird thing.
Yeah.
Whether it's a jealousy thing or like, oh, you get to stay at home and work from home, like I totally get that. So I don't take offense to it at all. I think what you just do is like, when you are someone that's positive or showing people messages about like genuinely helping somebody, not just like actually, I think that wins people over, because they're like, oh, this is a real thing. It's not just like, especially when my roommates and stuff will see people that meet me in person and they're like, girl's really emotional. I'm like, yeah, like, and they get it. So sometimes it just takes time. You can't fight it. You just gotta let it happen and let them make the decision down the line.
Yeah. All right. Why do you think there's such a stigma around mental health?
There's so many things. I think because our society doesn't know what to believe at all in general, which is so sad. There's so many things that are fake and staged. YouTube is clearly a place for that. Are there YouTubers that have fake mental illness for views? Absolutely. But are there ones that do it for good? Absolutely. I think it's just getting to know the person and judging them and knowing who they are. But I think the stigma just comes from ignorance as well, especially the 40 and up club. I still don't think, and it's not necessarily their fault, but they grew up in an era where they didn't even know what anxiety was. There wasn't not a lot of medication for antidepressants and things like there is now. It was just like get some sleep. It's all in your head. Yeah. Even my own father back in the day would tell me it's in your head, and I said, yeah, no shit, Dad. I know it's in my own head. That's the point. So I think once our generation and the younger generation grows up and then become parents and things, I think you'll see the shift become way more normal. I think mental health days should overtake sick days. Someone could, I would much rather work if I had a cold than if I was just going crazy with anxiety or depression. Yeah. So I think that'll change in the future, I think, which is really good.
What advice would you give for someone who is being bullied on social media?
It depends. It depends on what it is, but I think the whole thing with bullying for me, and what I always tell people, is like, try to make the joke with them. Things are just not as funny and entertaining as somebody if you don't actually seem like you're caring. I'll see people go back and forth with people 100 times, and then they'll say, I don't care, and I'm like, well, even if you don't, you tweeted that hater back 50 times. So if you just tweeted it back once, and literally, let's just say you go with the joke, and maybe it makes you feel bad about yourself for a second, but I guarantee you they'll tweet you one more time and stop. So I think the best thing is to don't stoop to their level. That's what they want. And most of the things that they're doing, you have to remember there are a lot of people that are not happy with themselves, their situation, their life. It's so much easier on an internet to wear a mask and be able to just be anonymous and make fun of somebody. But they're not happy at the end of the day, and that's not making them actually happy. So you can't take it personally, and like I said, try to make the joke with them or before them, and it's just not as funny, not as entertaining.
Yeah. And lastly, this was the biggest question that we got, is how do you cope with anxiety, depression? What are some of your go-to things to help you through rough times?
Yeah, I think everyone's different. My dog is big for me. Like literally, I just sometimes I'll have a panic attack at night, and then I'll see my dog, and I'll be like, oh, okay, something that I know, and it's right next to me, and he's soft, and I can pet him. I like to go outside when I'm feeling really weird. Because usually I don't want to, but I try to force myself just to get some sunlight and to go to a park and just sit and just get myself outside so I'm not sleeping all day. Yeah. And for me, I go to therapy every week. Sometimes not when I'm totally fine, which I think is good. So I think I've always been in a habit to do it when I'm feeling good and when I'm feeling bad. So it doesn't feel like I'm more stressed when I'm not doing bad, because it's normal. I go so I'm just chat about things. Sometimes it's literally just about nothing, sports. Sometimes it's, sometimes it's about, just something I'm going through. So I think just getting yourself in a habit works too. But, for me, I always try new things. Sometimes I'll take a bath and I'll put literally a big thing of bubbles in it. I'll just like, you know, and some things help. Everything is different for everybody. But just keep trying new things, and eventually you'll find something. And when you find it, stick with it, make it a pattern, make it a schedule, and you'll kind of get used to it. It'll become like a comfort thing, which I think comfort is really a big deal for that. So yeah. I agree.
Okay, well, that was it. Thank you very, 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 very much for agreeing to do this. I appreciate it a lot. If you guys like this video, please make sure to like, subscribe, and comment. Turn on my post notifications so you never miss a post. Follow me on all of my social media in the description. All of his information will be there also. And yeah, thank you guys very much for watching. I will see you in the next video.
Bye guys.
Bye.
See ya.
All right.
Here is a jewel charger on the ground. So
nice, cute.
ADD.
All right. I have to awkwardly do my...
shrink down a little bit.
That's okay. All right. What's up, everyone, and welcome back to my channel.
You gotta be louder. Okay.
I'm sorry, I don't have a voice. Okay.
Everyone has a voice. It's 2019. That was a bad joke.